So in general, I'm overly positive about overall positive about this week's ISC. I think there are some like really nice takeaways, even though I feel like a lot of people might not appreciate necessarily the work that's being done because it's stuff that doesn't really have gameplay involved with it. So let's watch ISC. NYOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO made that title, so.
There's a type of vehicle in Star Citizen which is very unique and has the potential to really be a special, fast, visceral experience that just you can't get with a lot of other vehicles. And so the Gravlev experience is going to really go a step up with this.
I think these have the potential for
the current state
racing.
Of Gravlev is a little rough. We have such a wide variety of planets that the existing Gravlev just doesn't cope particularly well in a lot of the common situations you might find on planets. And so we have it getting stuck on geometry and being flung into space and glitching into things and having all sorts of hilarious physics bugs that may be funny, but they don't really make the experience very fun or enjoyable. So this quarter we finally got time to really dive into Gravlev and really figure out what it's going to take to make it what we really want it to be. One of the first things we focused on with Gravlev is this new specialized suspension system, which is a little bit like a car, but it's doubly disconnected from the bike to make it really feel like it's hovering. The largest benefit we've gotten from this new suspension system is we can orient and move the bike somewhat independently of the suspension in ways that we were never able to do before with the old Gravlev.
So I think that this is like kind of important for Gravlev vehicles, because I think anytime any of us saw this stuff, it was Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. But yeah, the finally got time thing. I want to address this real quick. Jake talked about this in our Discord, so it's public knowledge that this was like a quick little idea that they had, did some brief like little testing and R&D, and went, yeah, we could do this like quickly and easily, and that's why it became a thing. So yeah.
Stop pausing, Pogo.
All right, I'll just pause the alerts then. How about that? So we don't have any more alerts during the video. There we go.
The next step is to use this new suspension system to implement a whole host of improvements to the stability of the bikes. So they're not going to bottom out, they're not going to bump into the ground, they're not going to crash off rocks and lose control.
Yeah, look at these, straight nose down and not hitting it.
Which really makes the whole experience much smoother, much less glitchy, much more reliable. So once we've got this super stable suspension implemented, we can implement some improvements to the actual control of the bike. So the turn friction for making maneuvers is improved, and we can also implement things like better height control, and that will have differences in the handling of the bike that you can feel a lot more than you used to be able to.
Okay, I think we'll have to feel
a thing called anti-fall, which effectively kicks in to arrest the bike's fall when you fall from a great height. So if you do big jumps off dunes on Daymar, the bike doesn't crash into the ground now when you get
drop into Jumptown, perhaps?
Much more aggressively stops itself and prevents itself from crashing. Last but certainly not least, we have this amazing feature where if you power off the bike or you get off the bike, the suspension will intelligently sort of relax the bike down.
Anybody else think that that's a stupid idea? Again, I want to go back to my original point. Hear me out, guys. Hear me out. We have a ship. Okay. hold on. Hear me out first. You're all saying no. Literally everybody is saying no. We have a ship, the Nomad, that has like floating landing gear. You don't actually land on that gear, right? I want to go back to my original point about Star Wars hover bikes. When people got on them, they were hovering. I agree, they should... I love the idea of it slowly coming down, but there should be nothing... Like, it should not be on the ground. Like, if I want to feel that Star Wars experience with these, which that's what they're pulling your heartstrings at, okay, land speeders, sorry, whatever they're called, and you want them to be hovering.
And similarly, when you get on the
that's the
bike,
feel I want to get.
It will softly ramp in the suspension so the bike will sort of softly lift up and you're ready to go on your adventure.
You think they won't go fully down?
The
It
combination
just
of
did.
all of these new features and improvements really make this a lot better. And it's been a personal hope of mine for quite some time that I've been able to do this rework, because Gravlev just has such potential for such amazing moments. And I know when it's used, for example, in the Daymar Rally, it's just such a cool sci-fi vehicle, and it's been my wish for quite some time that we can make that experience, you know, as good as it can get.
Okay. So that's what I'm kind of super happy about. Is seeing something that he really wanted to work on, get worked on, and he's happy about it. And what inspired him was us. Whatever the implementation ends up being, I saw PC 101 in chat say, well, I guarantee we're going to desync into a rock because the server's not going to communicate properly, anything. You're probably right. But in general, seeing somebody that works at the company look at how we use his stuff, get inspired by it, and make the game better, even though it's a feature that I think most of us look at and go, well, what do we do with this thing other than join the Daymar Rally, right? That's it. Luke Presley made scramble races. Maybe those can come back, but only for Gravlev vehicles, something like that, right? Because when we did the Gravlev scramble races way back in the day when those first came in, they were the only ones that I thought were like kind of enjoyable and fun. So yeah, like the other aspect is I think this dude, you know, probably should be working on the flight experience and all these other things that are way more important and way more used in the game. But like I said earlier, what Jake kind of said was this was a like little R&D test, like see if we could do something with this, and found out that they could do a bunch with it and do it quickly, so they did. That's the thing, is everything that has to do with flight and all these other things are probably way more complicated, probably require multiple teams and all that. But all right, let's continue. Sorry.
These new Gravlev improvements coming online in Alpha 3.16 aim to finally fulfill the unique promise inherent in vehicles like the Dragonfly, the Nox, the X1, and
oh, then you make them
upcoming...
worth it, Pitchfork.
Coming up next, let's look at the return of the Jumptown
Everything
War,
is a ship
also
sail!
coming in Alpha 3.16.
Jesus Christ!
When Jumptown 2 activates, there are now 3 drug labs where this event can happen. Jumptown, Raven's Roost, and Paradise Cove, to create a much more engaging, persistent universe. What is Jumptown 2.0? It's the event that we're putting out that is the officialization of a community event that happened a few years ago, where due to a bug, a location became immensely profitable that was also very conducive to player versus player combat. We are now taking that concept and turning it into a much more developed mission that we are officially supporting. When Jumptown 2 activates, a mission will be
A
distributed
much
out
more
to players.
developed mission.
This mission comes in two varieties. One is the criminal side and one is the lawful side. If you are actively having a crime stat, you will see a notification popping up letting you know that Rudo has contact.
Okay. You ready? This is literally the least developed mission of all time. Okay? No, hear me out again. I'm pretty sure you're the same guy that said, okay, you got me there, Mike. Well, I'm going to get you again. From a mission standpoint, this is the least developed, less developed than box deliveries. Look at the mission. I got some good news for you. There's an automated facility that's churning out a package after package of a primo product that's ripe for the taking. All you have to do is swoop down there and deal with a thug or two, grab whatever you can, and sell it for a huge profit. Shouldn't be a problem at all. Okay. What is the win and loss condition here?
You. He wants to sell you some information.
I believe
on a
they
really
accept it here,
lucrative
and we
drug
might be able to
opportunity.
see. Okay. Steal from the production facility at this chemist on Yella. Pick up the box. It's essentially a box mission, but in a weird way, it's not. So the only thing, and he'll go into this in a second, is that this mission does is track the production facility and track the recommended buyer. Now, the point I'm trying to get at here was I got jebaited when I first saw this. I was like, holy crap. They just started development on cargo missions. Cargo-related missions. Like, okay, Mike, we got a mission for you. Go to not security post Korea. Go to, I don't know, Port Tressler and pick up X amount of this product and sell it to Y. That was the first thing that popped in my head. But as we go on, we find out more.
The big thing here is that when you go and collect these for Rudo, you will take those drugs and sell them at Grim Hex.
Now watch, he sells them, but it's zoomed in.
For the legal side of things, when you
But I didn't see any, like, you know how, like, there's, like, a kind of a flash, like, whoa, mission complete kind of thing at the top? I didn't see anything trigger.
are confiscating that contraband, you are going to be taking them back to the lower Earth orbit station for that security company and selling it to their admin office.
600 Alpha UEC per unit.
We have actually put in some new tech that makes it so that while you are contracted for that security company, any police that pull you over will see that you have this contraband, but also that you have a temporary license for carrying it because
this
it's
is
deputized. Cool. And so they will tell you to just go on your way.
Attention. Please come to an immediate halt and hold for your vessel to be scanned.
That's actually cool.
All right. Everything checks out. Feel free to go.
Another is that we added the ability for the shops where you can sell these things to be modified during it so that you won't be running out of inventory anytime soon during a fire sale like this.
Also a good thing.
The general flow of the mission is as follows. You will see a notification popping up informing you that you have a mission available. When you accept that mission, you will receive two markers. One marker will be pointing you to a location where you can sell the drugs. The other marker will be pointing you to a drug lab where those drugs are being automatically produced every X amount of seconds.
Yep.
It's worth noting that you don't need to have a mission in order to interface with this event. It's just that these markers are the benefit of accepting the mission. During that time, everyone else on the server...
So that's all the mission is the markers.
Is also aware of this high-value location, and it is very likely that they will be landing and contesting you doing so. Since the original Jumptown, there have of course been a bunch of changes to the Persistent Universe sandbox. We have tanks, we have ballistas, we have ground vehicles galore.
I did not, Jerry. I didn't see it.
We also have a whole bunch more drop ships and varieties of ways to assault these drug labs. And as a result of that, we wanted to do a bit of an update to the gameplay spaces that they provided.
This is
Jumptown
big.
2 is set to release with 3.16.0. We're going to be running it on a schedule during winter break. We're really looking forward to seeing you all
No,
get to
I know,
kill each
Jerry.
other.
I thought it
and
might
steal
start
a whole
to
bunch
be.
of drugs during this, and we hope that you have a great time with this little callback to a great moment in Star Citizen history.
Okay, so all this mission is the location update. They trigger it themselves. We heard that we were going to be able to trigger this, I thought, at CitizenCon, but apparently that'll be an in the future thing. All it is go down, and so like from a creation mission standpoint, they did very little. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Jumptown was not something they created. It was something we created. All they're doing is kind of doing that again. Is going, this is it, boys. The stuff is here. You go there to sell it. Everything that happens in between is on you. So I like that. But at the same time, I was like, damn, how sick would it have been if they used this mission to tie cargo into the mission logic, which they didn't. Doesn't appear that they did, at least. At the same time, cargo refactor is still ongoing, delayed, so on and so forth. That's probably when it happens. So I got a little bit debated there where I was like, holy crap, these boxes could be tied to this mission in some way. That would be cool. Didn't happen. But at the same time, CIG seemingly being really hands-off in this mission is a good thing. Jerry says, I'm concerned about the 3 locations. Comment, hope it's not all at the same time because 50-player count server battles won't be a huge profit if it's split. So, Jerry, like, in relation to that, I don't believe that they'll all be at the same location, or they'll be going on at the same time, because when they talked about it with us originally, it was a thing where you triggered it at that location, and I think that's the plan. It'll be at a random one. You just won't know where. So, we'll have to see. Interesting. We'll see what happens. It's kind of cool, but that's it, and we'll watch the
so
whole
what
thing.
did we learn this week? Well, we learned that there's a new and exciting second life for our Gravlev vehicles on the way. That Jumptown will be joined by Raven's Roost and Paradise Cove for lucrative business opportunities and exciting new PvP encounters alike. And that if you want to learn more about the upcoming, you should follow along with this year's exciting Luminalia festivities. Yes, it's an exciting time for celebration and giving thanks, and we're going to do both with our community beginning today. Check out the robertspaceindustries.com website for more details. I'm Jared Huckabee. This is Inside Star Citizen. I said that backwards. We'll see you all next week.
Another sale. Like, they haven't finished yet. Like, but we'll see. We'll see.